Telling a teenager that they're in a toxic friendship doesn't really work. So what can you do? I've got 5 ways today. You probably don't enjoy it when people tell you that you're making a poor choice. So why do you think teenagers want to hear that you think that they're in a toxic friendship? Hi, I'm Mallory Grimsey and I'm a teen therapist, and I know that teenagers don't like to be told that they're wrong. It makes perfect sense that if you see a friend in a difficult position that you want to help them out. After all, friends look out for friends, right? But what can you do if you've tried telling your friend that they're in a toxic friendship and they just can't see it or they don't want to hear what you're saying? I have 5 ways that can actually help. Listening to them is so important. We all just want to be heard and understood. When we take the time to really listen and pay attention to the other person's perspective, it helps us understand where they're coming from and why they may be behaving the way they are. Most people don't stay in toxic friendships because they're 100% toxic. There's usually some really good parts of the friendship, otherwise you wouldn't still be friends with them. So hearing from the other person what they get out of the friendship and what their experience of the friendship is really important so that they feel heard and understood and validated. And if something that they're saying doesn't make sense or it just doesn't seem logical or rational, I highly encourage you to ask questions. Stay curious and really seek to understand their point of view. If you're a human being, you like to fill in the blanks. We all do this to speed up the conversation. Asking questions and staying curious and open to the other person's point of view lets them know that you really are interested in hearing what they have to say and what they think and feel about the situation. Sharing your observations is really key and important too. Now here is where you really want to stick to the facts. Don't put your opinions in here. Don't tell the other person what they're feeling. Just state the facts. So what can you physically hear, see, smell, taste, touch? What is your actual experience? And use those 5 senses to describe it objectively. This is not the time to share hearsay or what a friend of a friend of a friend told you. This is a time for you to share what your experience is of what you have observed directly. A great example of this is saying something like,
I noticed that the last 3 times when you said hello to Susie, she looked away.
These are facts. These are things that you saw with your own 2 eyes. Now, they may object to these observations, and that's okay. Just by stating them, you're letting them know that you're paying attention and that you notice what's happening. When you do share your observations, speak from an I perspective. Speak about what your experience is like. Don't tell the other person what they're feeling or what their experience is. Don't try to fill in the blanks for them. Instead, use I statements, meaning I feel, I notice, I don't like. Those are all great starters from speaking from an I perspective. When you share from your own experience, it makes it a little more difficult for the person to argue about what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what your opinion is. After all, it's your experience, not theirs. And it puts the ownership for that experience on ourselves. It is so common and makes total sense that when you're trying to help a friend out and they're just not listening to you and they're not taking your advice and you see them continue to make hard, uncomfortable decisions, you'd want to ignore that or shy away from that friendship. I'm going to encourage you to actually push in rather than pull away in these situations. When we are present for our friends, even when they're going through a hard or difficult time, it lets them know that I am here for you no matter what. Now, please understand here, I am not saying that if a friend is treating you badly or is abusive or neglectful of you, I'm not saying to endure that. You can certainly set limits and expectations here. For example, you can let them know, when you're ready to be a good friend to me again, I will be here for you. Continuing to check in on them along the way can be really helpful too. When you're in a toxic friendship, it's really difficult to notice or acknowledge it. Some of you may be the kind of person that takes on too much responsibility for these situations. Others just don't know how to get out of it. When you're in a toxic friendship and you notice it, it's really important to have good, healthy friends around you. Otherwise, what tends to happen is if all your good, healthy friendships have faded away or have disconnected from you, then it feels really scary and risky to break off that toxic friendship. It feels like it's the only friendship that you'll ever have. Now, of course, this is not true, but in that moment, it can feel true. I find that it's really common for teenagers with depression end up in toxic friendships because they just don't feel good about themselves. They don't feel like they deserve a better friend. So if you find yourself in a situation where you love and care about a teenager with depression, please watch the video on your screen right now because it can really help. And please make sure that you share this video because you never know who needs it. Thanks for watching.